This is going to be a hard one. I can feel it. You might have seen me post a fuck ton of content lately. 6 videos in one day. Produced. And that was in addition to the 4-hour live stream I did. That was including a 3-hour talk. I was beat the fuck out. I was exhausted. When I went to bed, I don't remember anything. I remember having a bad feeling when I got up again because I had a call on my phone and all of a sudden it was noon. I was like, fuck, I'm late. To what? It was just my mind. Funky. It's so weird. It's funky is a very good word for that because it feels confusing. You have to kind of critique yourself when you have these thoughts. And I do that all the time. I did that today. I got angry and it made me glad because I saw that I have values that goes beyond what I thought. And that is something that I want to really focus on in this video because today most people don't. Like, how often do you feel like you have said something wrong to a person? All of a sudden a friend stops contacting you because no apparent reason. Or how if you are sitting in a room and you feel like the pressure of that room is so heavy. Like someone in that room is thinking something, or are you thinking something? And what are you thinking about? And what is making you feel so beat, so pushed down? There's a fucking easy explanation for that. And that's why I got angry. I'm going to try to weigh my words very well in this video because I know that there are people out there now who's going to feel hit. And if you feel triggered, that is a very good indication. If you feel triggered, you know that there is something there that you don't like about yourself. Lately, I've been figuring out that my message, the thing that I'm giving out, is not online business. It's not the expansion of consciousness. It's not even psychedelics, even though I talk about these all the time. It is to be authentic, to not be fake. Because we live in a world that is increasingly more fake. And if you have people who's talking on your behalf about a situation that you shared with another person, that they did not have any inclusion in, they were not there, yet they are going to another outside party and talking about the things that they think and assume happened, based on what they have caught up in a fraction of a conversation about a complete picture. And then having understood that, depending on their reality. So they have received a piece of information and they have deducted whatever information they have, and then they have taken action on that. When that happens, wars break out. Misunderstandings, bad energy, and a whole bunch of negativity that was never even necessary. And why? Because someone has not been honest with themselves. Because someone has a secret that they don't tell people. Because someone think that the world is out to get them, and because of that, they have to stay strong. They have to stay silent. They should not share their secrets. They should not speak about their privacy. They should not do anything other than talking to other people and saying that they should never share this information any further because then people might get hurt. instead of calling a person up face to face, saying it as it is, and facing the consequences of that. That has been my problem. You see, the last year, I have been feeling this pull, this extremely strong pull that is taking me to places I never really considered before. Places that I could not even conceive of before. And oftentimes those feelings are filled with fucking dread and pain and I wouldn't say fear, but I want to take back all those words and just reframe them, because what the fuck is that? Is it that we have never really understood how we work, so that we don't know how to identify a feeling that feels uncomfortable, and then we just label that with fear? Could it be something else? Could it be the universe telling you that if you do this thing, something will happen and it will be good for you, as long as it is aligned with who you are? And I will imagine that there are a lot of fucking idiots out there, or monsters, or evil fuckers, that do this same thing. But in that case, I had this conversation with George Monty on the True Life podcast. We talked about the spectrum of positive and negative. And I talked about my journey with the whole criminality, the whole criminal path that I went on before. I served in jail. I had burned down a freaking mall. Mall is a very relative word because this town was not a big one. I had spent years in prison and I had done a lot of horrible fucking shit. And you know what? It was easy. Because when I was that person back then, I had been working so hard on being bad that I was good at it. I didn't feel bad when I did bad fucking shit. I didn't feel fear because I had crossed those barriers so many times that it was just easier to do. And then the whole thing happened, with me having a son and me seeing that I have to be a man for once. And as they say, grow some fucking balls. And not just be a father, but a dad. Not just a sperm donor, but an actual role model. In a world with fakeness and information overwhelm. When that happened, I started to fight for the positive spectrum of the scale. And that was fucking hard. I had to unlearn truths. I had to do a whole bunch of shit. Do you know how easy it is to steal money? To go down and beat someone up to get their money? I mean, let's face it. If you find a 100-year-old woman and beat her to death, it's probably going to be very easy compared to it was if you were to do that with a 16-year-old man. Get my point? And don't get any ideas, because if you think that this is this is what you should do because it's easy, then that's the problem. It's easy to take money. It's harder to make money. I'm not talking about an employer. I'm not talking about sitting there and waiting for money to land in your lap, because that's not really money either, is it? I'm talking about doing the things that goes against who you think you are. To do the things that scares the living fucking shit out of you. To face those conversations that has the consequence of breaking your entire reality and your life. Because you know that you're doing this because it is true to you. You're doing this because it's aligned with you. You're facing the fear because you're going to get better from it. And if you continue to do that, it's going to get easier, just as it is when you get bad. Jordan Peterson says that in this world, it's good to be dangerous. And the host says, that sounds fucked up. And then Jordan Peterson says, I don't want to be in a community or a society full of pussies. And I'm paraphrasing. And I think pussies are really, really fucking powerful beings. Both iterations of pussy. So let's reframe it. Kittens. To live in a society full of pacified kittens. Let's say like Vikings. who used to go out, sit their ass in a boat, go west into the unknown, where they thought a fucking serpent that circled the world was going to eat them. That requires fucking courage. Not like today, though, where you can't do something because it's going to ruin your nails. Or you can't go for a swim because your hair is going to be messy for your Instagram live later, where you're going to do some shit for views and likes. Things have changed, haven't they? They are very different. And it seems like there are few people who actually walk their talk today, where they do the things that are hard so that they have the opportunity to protect. So back to Jordan Peterson. He won't, he thinks that living in a society full of pacified people, full of cowards, is not something that he wants. He means dangerous, because a dangerous man is someone who does the good things for the better of other people, yet he knows that if it is required, he is capable of immense things. Many will feel me on this because there is a monster inside of everyone. And when you have that under control and you can use that to fuel your efforts to do good, instead of being a brainless fucking idiot and going out there inflicting violence on people for no reason, or using violence as a status, like a badge of honor, being tough and toxic, being bulky and brainless, being that person who never asks for help because that would be shameful. So all the insecurities are just leaked into every other new or old human being around you, where you feel like you're doing everything right because of course you are. That has been your life. The paradigm has been like that. You don't know anything else, and how can you know something you don't know? So it's not on you. However, it is on you to make the decision to be better, to do better. And in doing better, being this dangerous man, being authentic is probably the most fucking important thing. Instead of including parties that has nothing to do with a situation that you have no idea about, and spreading that information as if you know what you're talking about, as if you know the person. Because many people think they know someone, right, today, when they have no fucking idea what that person went through, what you went through, what you are capable of, the things that keep you up at night, the things that when you look in your mirror, the eyes speaks volumes because they have seen shit, they have done shit. You should be proud of who you see, but you should also be very fucking careful about what you say about others. So that's my problem today. People trying to be someone they're not. Who's trying to spread all this misinformation because of their insecurities and their inability to face the fucking consequences. Because, I mean, if you're doing a good thing, then there should be no consequences. You have nothing to hide, right? There's nothing people can do or say that's going to rip you down from the pedestal. Because, I mean, if there is, maybe they're not to blame. Maybe there is something else that you should have thought of. People have often said that I say things. I talk about things that I should not talk about. And then I have to ask, when did we get legally bound so that we could not speak about what the things that we're thinking about, how we feel about things? I mean, isn't it our responsibility, if we want a better world, to be the fucking change that we want to see? Not count on everyone else to do it for us? What was this beautiful quote that I saw earlier about 4 people? Anyone, anybody, somebody, nobody, something, something. The point was that in the end, nobody really did what anyone could have done. We're just sitting there waiting instead of actually doing something about it. In my business as well, I work in a very interesting field because I see all the other marketers and salesmen and entrepreneurs and coaches and consultants and fitness gurus and experts and a whole bunch. You should have seen my Facebook wall. It is so fucking interesting. I have no idea what my friends are up to because the algorithm is feeding me whatever they think that I want. So I have to be really conscious about what I search for. But there is this trend in the industry where people will portray them as something else. I have a video actually where I responded to one of these messages that I received. A guy who wanted to bring me leads. He had probably just made a course or done a course or seen a video on YouTube and then figured that he's just post that cover image on Facebook and then he's going to be the expert and he can sell all these leads and be this important person who's making a lot of money, just like everyone else on Instagram. All of these successful people that he wants to be like. And then I can't help but think that this is not just in the industry. This is everywhere. There's a reason I have this mask on the wall because that's what we are all just wearing. Trying to be whatever we want to be for the neighbor. Doing everything else so that we are good enough for other people. Buying that thing because that person had that gadget and now everyone has it, so I need to have that as well. Going to the same fucking vacation places. Doing the exact same thing as everyone else. Walking around in flocks. Listening to the news to bring them information. Having no patience, which means that if you're watching this right now, you're either very triggered, but there's some truth to it, or you're a very special person because you have 99% more patience than anyone else in the society. We are capable of doing things that you probably cannot even comprehend. And all it takes is a meditation. All it takes is doing the things. All it takes is seeing that you are worth something. That you have magic, that you can share something with the world. And that you can be rewarded for that. For your unique contribution to this planet that we're stuck on. Well, currently. We have to flee soon because we're fucking up the planet. There are many weird fucking problems in this world that we could have fixed. The education system is fucked. And all of this, in my mind, stems back to authenticity. Just being fucking real. You know, own up to the fact that right now the whole education system is not really following the times. Because the classrooms are still identical to what they were in the 50s. But we have ChatGPT. Many of you won't even see the significance of that. In this generation, the kids are giving iPads at 5. Do you remember the last time that happened? Do you know the experience of that? Oh yeah, no, that just happened. We're just now figuring out what the internet is capable of doing, and most people are sitting there watching Netflix, going to the work, coming back home, maybe getting some food if it's still warm, getting some relaxation in front of Netflix, go to bed, get up again, do the same thing until it's weekend and we can go out and drink our sorrows away. See, this pains me. It's insane. A few days ago, I invested more money than I had in a coach. Didn't have the money. I think I had $200 in the bank account. And here's the funny thing. I've been working for myself now for years. And even though I'm not a millionaire, I'm richer than most people. Because when I need something, I will do what it requires to get it. And using simple freaking things online, I was able to help other people to get that money. I learned things. I went around, found the solution, and I put that together to something that worked, and I sold it. And I made money. So even though I didn't have more than a few $100s on my bank account when I wanted to invest $6,000 in my coach, I knew that I was going to figure it out. And I got to work. And you've seen that there's a lot of things that has happened online if you have been paying attention, just on my channel alone. Then all of a sudden, my coach says that he's going to give everyone a chance. So he's dropping the price to $1,500. And that was a no-brainer for me. That was done overnight. So the next day, I paid him. It used to hurt when I had to pay money. I used to feel really ill when I paid money. My first coach was $600, and I was feeling bad. That was a lot of money. Because we all start somewhere. When I invested that money that I created overnight, I didn't feel anything other than joy and energy. Because I know that that is an investment that is going to change my reality. And it has. This entire week, all the things that have been created is because of that one thing, where I saw that in order for me to do anything now, I just have to risk it big. And it's not really a risk when you know that you're capable of doing things to find the solution, to make the things happen, to plan for it, to reach your goals. Because you have goals, right? I know that I have to raise about $25 million. I know also that I'm going to do that mostly by myself because I'm against investors. I don't want them to pervert my idea. I don't want the society to come in and create some fucking mainstream shit, the consumer shit, when they're going to take my dream and turn it into a product that they can make money out of. So I don't want investors. I don't want people to come in and change anything because I see that there's a genuine fucking real need in the world and I want to be part of the solution. For that, I need to create a lot of shit. I have to learn things that I didn't learn before, or I have to hire people to do that because maybe I want to focus on something I'm good at. I mean, creating freaking VR games, AI 4D environments, Web3 and algorithmic and Bitcoin. Algorithmically induced Bitcoin. That would be weird. You see, all these things, it took a long while. But here I am. And it feels like every single day I'm just one more step towards that $25 million that's going to provide a solution for the fucking fakeness that we see in the world. Where you can learn actual useful things, like taking responsibility for yourself. To start to think differently. That you don't keep on projecting the same reality. Reliving each day, every year, repeating the pattern and calling it a life. You're capable of things that you are not even. I would say it could boggle your mind, but it goes way beyond that. For those who are willing to listen, for those who are willing to actually change something, for those who are willing to take the leap, walk the talk, and do the fucking spew. This was not meant to be a rant. But I want to fix the fakeness. I want to teach people how to take control over their realities so they can be authentic and be themselves. And just a result of that is that you're living life as an adventure. And you can do things that most people cannot even fathom. You can travel places. You can meet new people. You can start doing hobbies again. Starting investing in what you want to see in yourself instead of whatever else. I mean, I sold a program for less than it cost for a night out. 3 people bought it. And then I go and sell something for $6,000 and people are standing in line. How do you think that works? If you pay attention. And if you commit to the point where it hurts, you're going to be damn sure that you're going to fucking finish the route to get to the goal. That's why things cost money. That's why you should pay until it fucking hurts. That's why I keep saying, I'm on a path. And the day that I charge 50,000 euros for a coaching call, it's because I have invested 50,000 euros in a coaching call. What I can promise you, if you want to work together, I will give you everything that I have learned over the years, but I'm going to force you to face your bullshit. Because I hear when you have limiting beliefs, and I'm allergic to those things. So I take people on their bullshit, and I challenge you to do something about it. That's my life. That's my job. I love my job. You can do that as well if you walk the talk, if you share your experience instead of your intellectual, maybe, I hope someday knowledge. Information is everywhere. There used to be a time where gold was very important. And it used to be a time where information was as important as gold. Because back in the day, information was actually scarce. People had to work for that. They had to really sweat to get information, and they were very valuable. Today, we have flipped the script. Today, you can have information about anything. Today, people are not doing anything else than getting information. But they're not doing anything about the information. So information without implementation equals mental masturbation. Thanks, Jesse. I like that. You have to stand on the shoulder of giants. Know that if you are only getting the same things that you've done all life, you're going to get the same things that you've gotten all life. New information brings new ideas. And then it's up to you to actually implement and take action on those ideas. To do something about it. To dispute it. And when you do that enough, you're going to end up in SLS. And I know, I promised a video on this. I've been having a conversation. You know who you are. The video is coming, but it is literally this. And you're living it. So many of you are living it. Living in flow, living in passion, living in purpose, and living in SLS. Living the dream, where you're able to create the reality that you want. Because it starts with a thought. It's insane. I can't believe that I'm sitting here today talking about these things, because there was a time where I was trying to figure out what ADA was. So I'm grateful, but I really want to address this thing with the whole fakeness, the lack of authenticity. If you felt triggered during this, know that it is from a place of love, because SLS is also about that. Walk the talk. Do no harm, but take no shit. Be you through the lens of love. And I'm not talking about the surface level fucking fornication kind of love that we're talking about, the porn movie-ish. I've heard things, sorry, that was a tangent. I've heard things about how the kids are being influenced by the fucking media, and how sex has changed and how people view that. I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but god damn, the world has shifted. It's insane. Look at that. Machine Gun Kelly and Cardi B. I love your face. Take care of your freaking family. I hope this was helpful or insightful or triggering. I hope that you felt something. And if you want to coach, let's talk. Reach out. We can have a free call to see if I can either help you. And if I can, I'm going to change your life in that free call, because I like to actually lead with experience. If I don't change your life in the free call, I have not done my job. But if I do, know that I'm not free. If I do and you want to work with me, you have to invest in yourself. But you're going to get one free. You better be ready to take that action to create that dream, because I'm not going to take your bullshit. But I love your face. I'll see you in the next one.